Edge at 11 starts now.
Well, tonight on The Edge, an evacuation at a local hospital after a bomb threat. Corewell says after an investigation, the threat against its Beaumont, Troy location is not credible. It came in just before 8 p.m. The hospital and its ER remain open tonight, but police and K-9 teams are still on site. We're told out of an abundance of caution. Make sure you stay with Fox 2 for updates. Also tonight, no soliciting. It's a common request among homeowners, but one local town could up the ante.
Yeah, we're talking about Hazel Park. They could institute a do not knock ordinance, making certain homes off limits. Fox 2's Dave Kinchin explains.
The quiet, serene streets of Hazel Park getting one step closer to staying that way with a warning to peddlers and solicitors, knock it off.
When we first moved here, we had a ton of people knocking.
Manny Ream likes an idea working its way through Hazel Park City Council, allowing residents to ban solicitors from knocking on their doors to make a sales pitch or ask for something.
I don't like answering the door too by myself, so it would be nice.
Okay.
Make me feel safer, I would say.
A do not knock registry essentially allows homeowners to decline to have solicitors, peddlers come to their door.
Luke Londo is the city council member behind the legislation.
Anecdotally, it's something we hear about on occasion. You know, there's groups of people that do have peddler's license that come through our city, but I was particularly alarmed by a recent instance of a gentleman, his 84-year-old mother, who's, well, but not necessarily in control of all of her faculties, had somebody visit her home and were trying to sell an alternative energy program. Thankfully, she didn't, take them up on their offer.
If approved, peddlers would be required to have a license. Anyone knocking on their behalf would have to carry the license too. Those who get the license would also get a list of homes to stay away from. Specific hours would be set for legal soliciting, and existing no soliciting signs would carry a lot more weight. Violators could face tickets and fines or could lose that license altogether. We did some good old-fashioned door knocking of our own to get more public opinion on the matter. Do you like people knocking on your door?
Of course.
Scott Kearns says he's all good with friendly visitors, but it all depends on their purpose for stopping by.
If they are out here selling things, then that is one thing. I'm not really for that, but if you're coming by and you're coming through the neighborhood to let me know what's going on in the community or you're a neighbor, yeah, come on in, I'm a friendly guy.
The ordinance would have some exceptions.
Some of the exceptions are people like me that might be canvassing for office or on behalf of other politicians. I personally will abide by the do not knock registry, but also religious groups, other people that enjoy First Amendment protections that are able to go door to door as a First Amendment right.
What about the press if we're doing door knocks as part of the job?
That's a really good question. You better make sure your license is in order.
The councilman made it clear he's joking on that last point there regarding the press. So they've made some changes to the legislation. It could be adopted at a future or next city council meeting. And if it does pass, residents can either sign up for that registry on the city's website or they can go to City Hall and do it in person. In Hazel Park, Dave Kinchin on The Edge.
A Detroit mother and her boyfriend both charged in the death of her 3-year-old son. 35-year-old Brianna Simmons and 24-year-old Michael Yarbrough, both charged with murder, torture, and child abuse. Simmons' son died back in March after being removed from the home multiple times by Child Protective Services. Prosecutors allege Yarbrough abused the child and Simmons ignored it and tried to hide the cause of injuries.
That boy would be removed again and again, each time with additional broken bones, which are only alleged to have happened after Ms. Simmons allowed this individual to move into her home and stay in her home and to continue assaulting her child.
Simmons is being held without bond. Yarbrough is not yet in custody. It's been more than 2 years since the tragic shooting at Michigan State University.
5 people were wounded and 3 others were killed before the shooter then turned the gun on himself. But when the victims in this case sued, government immunity this time didn't stand in their way. 3 students who survived have reached a settlement with the school. Corewell Law, who represents 2 victims, secured almost $17 million for their clients who were both critically injured. Another survivor who was paralyzed received a $13 million settlement. That victim will also receive free tuition, room and board, and health insurance.
They did the right thing by coming to the table to resolve these cases for the benefit of these students. I give them credit for that. And in this day and age where institutions don't do the right thing, they actually did.
In a statement, a Michigan State University spokesperson said, quote, while the university cannot comment on any specific settlements, we truly hope reaching a resolution helps provide some measure of relief, support, and care to impacted individuals and their families, end quote.
Hamtramck's suspended city manager escorted out at tonight's city council meeting after showing up. Max Garbarino has filed a lawsuit against the council and police chief alleging corruption and fraud. He was placed on paid administrative leave after suspending the city's police chief. Now tonight, right as the meeting started, Hamtramck's mayor argued it would be inappropriate for Garbarino to be there without allowing the chief.
It's improper for Max to be here until the investigation is done. And I would ask the deputy police chief to escort him out. You kick the police chief out of here without giving him an opportunity to defend himself, and you want to be here while you are on paid administrative leave. That's inappropriate.
Garbarino was first removed from the meeting and then from the building. In a lawsuit, he and a Hamtramck police officer claimed they were punished after revealing alleged misconduct by the police chief. Well, tonight, a local department store is looking for one specific shopper.
Oh, they went into the shoe section not to find some new kicks, but to go to the bathroom. Fox 2's Camila Mary with this bizarre story.
Monday morning at the Foreman Mill store, 8 Mile in Van Dyke.
He came straight into the store, didn't even talk to anybody, went straight to the shoe aisle.
And you'll never believe what he did.
He didn't even try to hide it. He just pulled down his pants, pooped, didn't even wipe, and walked straight out and got in the car and left.
I think that's ridiculous. I think that's the craziest thing I ever heard in my life. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking or what he was going through because they have a bathroom in there.
Ever since the pandemic, they closed it down to the public. Corporate put out the policy for our store that there's no public bathroom. But anyone who comes in there and asks, we let them use the bathroom.
But according to store employees, he never asked. All of it caught on store security video.
He walked in the door at 10:13. He was out the door at 10:17.
And he wasn't alone.
The other guy walked into a men's department. I didn't see anything in the men's department, but I think it seems like that's what they came there just to do, because they didn't talk to anyone, didn't grab nothing, made a beeline straight for the shoe department, used the bathroom and just left.
It's all so mind-boggling.
We get a lot of wild stuff there, but I did not. That's a first there. When I seen it, I just thought, no way. That's why I reviewed the camera so quick, because I was thinking maybe it's a kid and an accident happened.
But it was no kid.
The guy that actually used the bathroom in there, he was probably 50s, and the guy that he was in there with had to be about my age, mid-30s.
They certainly didn't look suspicious.
The guy that he was walking in with and left, he had a nice car. It looked like a burgundy Cadillac. The guy had a nice outfit on. They were nice, clean cut. I don't know what was going on. I was trying to find him before he left, just to ask why. But they were gone so quick.
And honestly, I've been doing this for a long time, and I don't think I've ever covered a story quite like this one. Now, if you know who this guy is, I know that all the employees at Foreman Mills would love to hear from you. In Detroit, Camila Mary on The Edge.
Well, turning to the weather now, a warm and breezy day expected tomorrow, Roop.
Yeah, you were just talking about how it's nice to not have the rain. You're doing the yard work outside.
Yes, it was great. Just heard a little bit.
Getting the green thumb. You got a little elbow issue. Weather Authority Rich Luderman joins us for the forecast. The things we talk about during the break.
So many problems.
Gardening issues.
You wouldn't believe it. Exactly.
Challenges.
All about gardening and pets. We talk about pets a lot. Let's talk about this quiet pattern for us here in the Great Lakes. Now, there are some active areas across the lower 48 dealing with weather. Central Texas, the Gulf Coast, but around here, couple of stray showers earlier today up in the Thumb region, also around Port Huron and Marysville. A couple of brief showers, but right now it is quiet across the central Great Lakes, and we like it that way. How about some great live shots from Santa Monica, California? That's the famous pier right there at 66 degrees. That's not too far from Malibu, California. Sure looks nice, the Pacific Ocean. How about the daytime high for us today? 76 degrees. Here's your averages for this time of the year, 78 and 59. So still a couple degrees below where we should be. It is cooling off out there as we speak. 66 Windsor, 55 Ann Arbor. There's 58 in Howe, 62 up in Pontiac. Notice not a lot of wind out there. Tomorrow, After 8 or 9 o'clock, it will pick up from the south and west, but that will lead to a warmer day for your Wednesday. 53 Muskegon, 57 up there in Marquette, 70 in Chicago. Warmer around Minneapolis at 76. So watch what happens tomorrow. We're going to see the approach of a very weak cold front. That'll lead to a breezy, warm afternoon. Now on the backside, it's not going to be as warm for Thursday and Friday, and it looks like rain chances increase Friday into Saturday. You'll see it all in the 7-day forecast. For the rest of tonight, it is quiet out there. A lot of us will dip into the mid to upper 50s, 58 on average. Tomorrow, hazy sunshine, yes, breezy and warm in the afternoon, all the way up to 85. It's going to feel warmer tomorrow. And then you'll see more clouds for Thursday and Friday. Saturday features a few showers. And how about that? For Father's Day Sunday, mostly cloudy skies and 76. Not at all a bad forecast. Taryn, we'll check it for you coming up at 4 a.m.
Okay, thanks, Rich. Well, we're not out of the woods yet from poor air quality this summer. Smoke from the Canadian wildfires could continue to impact Michigan. And one place you should remember to protect yourself is actually your car. Kenny, the car guy, tells Fox 2 a clean cabin air filter can make all the difference.
You have a sealed system inside your car, but all the air that you're breathing is coming from the outside. A good air filter can make a huge difference, and if you don't change it often enough and it gets clogged up, you won't get good air.
Experts recommend you change your cabin air filter every 15,000 miles. They're typically found behind the vehicle's glove compartment, something we all learned here today.
Well, it's a new eye in the sky for Taylor Police. They're now Michigan's first department with autonomous flight drones.
Well, this new tech is transforming how Taylor PD patrols the city. Fox 2's Scott Wolchek gives us a closer look.
Opening. Please stand clear.
Yes, the future is now. Responder drones at Taylor Police Department.
34 years here with the city of Taylor, and I could only dream of this. This is things you thought about with like the Star Wars era.
With the press of a button, the two new drones launch off the roof of Taylor Police Department and autonomously head to the address of 911 calls.
Tell me about the purpose behind that. What does that do for you guys?
Eye in the sky. If you can imagine having another viewpoint, the ability to quickly respond. These obviously travel in a straight line, about 45 miles an hour. They can be there most likely before officers arrive on scene. So valuable information provided to us.
Chief John Blair says that response time matters, and these are equipped with two-way communication and cameras which provide a live feed to officers. The drones also have a radar, so the FAA knows where they are.
They're all tracked. Every time we send them up, there'll be a call for service. This information will be made available to the public. There are no secrets with this. Again, I cannot stress enough, we're not looking in your windows. We're not driving above and looking for problems. They are responsive only. They are not proactive.
Also new tech, these two lemur drones, ideal for SWAT situations. They aren't autonomous, but can breach windows, enter interiors, 3D map them, and carry small payloads.
We can talk to them, they can talk to us. Full live streaming of everything that's happening on scene. This also has infrared capabilities as well.
The lemurs already active. The responders set to launch June 18th. Why is Taylor PD so invested in tech?
Doing things smarter. With less manpower, doing things safer. There was demands for police reform, and these things can do that.
Scott Wolchek, Fox 2 News.